Alrighty, UFC Fight Night 257 at China. Johnny Walker versus Ming Yang Zhang just took place, and I'm here to give you the breakdown, the takeaway from every fight, thoughts and opinions, round by round if I remember. You'll have to excuse me for some of this breakdown. I might try to speed run some of it. It is 8 a.m. my time. The card just finished, meaning I stayed up all night just for you guys. Yeah, this is what happens when you're a UFC fan. You just stay up on ungodly hours and fuck up your entire sleep schedule, even though you have a job. All right, so regardless of that, my brain's a little cooked right now. Okay, I've been up for a long time, but it is what it is. Okay, and yeah, we're gonna get through this breakdown together. Okay. Just a quick thing, I do my breakdowns. I've been doing it for about a year on every single fight card, so, stick around, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. Without further ado, let's get into the card. Starting with, by the way, sick card. Glad I stayed up and fucked up my sleep schedule. This was a really good event. There's a lot of finishes. There's a lot of good fights. There's some stinkers. We'll get into them. But, a certain fan base should be saying that every fight was a banger. We'll get into it, okay? Just a little bit of foreshadowing. Anyways, let's get into by the way, went positive back in the win column. I think I went positive on my last card as well, or, yeah, I think I went positive on the last card. I could be misremembering. Regardless, went positive. I think I went 7-5. As always, the final score will be above me at the end of the video during the last breakdown. Now, with that being said, Uran Satibaldiev versus Dr. So I went with DR. Okay, full transparency. I've seen DR do good. I've seen Uran get fraud checked by Martin Boudet. Okay, yeah, I mean, DR just can't defend submissions. He learned how to defend a Kimura. Okay, he got Kimura'd by Brenson Ribeiro. And in this fight, he got, what is the name of the submission? I don't even fucking know. But he got styled on, basically. He got, like, white belted, okay? I feel like anyone, like a blue belt, would know how to get out of that position, just saying, and wouldn't let that position happen. It was like a front choke or some shit from top position. There's a name, but I can't remember the name of it. Anyways, Uran got it done. Uran looked pretty good, He instantly went for the submissions. Dyer just looked like he can't harm a human. He looks like he's 3 weight classes too high. Looks like he could probably cut to lightweight. He still has that tick. Was less prevalent, okay? And if you don't know, he's got that fucking pushing his eyebrow in or something. I don't know. It's weird. Theories are that he was on roids to manage that tick. Now he's off roids because he's in the UFC and he's doing shit. I just think he's shit. Just personally, from what we've seen in his 2 fights in the UFC, cut him. He's a bum. Get him out. I don't want to fucking see this guy in the UFC again. Please, somebody get rid of him. Uran looks pretty good. He's got one of those funky looking hats. Looks like a Wild West hat with like a fucking symbol on the front, but like shortened down. So it's pretty cool. Don't know what country it's from. Don't know what ethnicity he is, but he got it done. And it was pretty impressive. He got like a nice submission. It's gonna be good for the highlights, even though it was a fat fuck he just beat. Got that prediction wrong. It is what it is. It was 2 bums. Who was the bummiest bum? We found out Dyer is the fucking bummiest bum. Alright, moving on. Long Zhao versus Yu So Young. 0 for 2 to start the night, not gonna lie. I went with Long Zhao, and to be fair, okay, and if you're confused, alright, because, some of these fighters might look similar, okay, Long Zhao, okay, if you watch the fights, he's the one with the golden strip, alright, on his hair. The other one looks like he, doesn't grow facial hair at all, but, I mean, none of them really do, so I guess maybe he does. Maybe he actually just has the Chad genetic where he does grow facial hair, now that I think about it, because I can't really think of too many Chinese people with facial hair. Anyways, regardless, or I guess Korean, because I think that's what he is. But Long Zhao versus Yu So Young. First round was pretty close. It was pretty competitive. This was about, like, to be expected. I was expecting a little bit more output for Long Zhao, but Long Zhao, when he got tagged, this fight was really just about composure. Both of them had very similar styles with different stances. They would go into an exchange fucking swing for the fences, overhand rights, overhand lefts. But Yu So Young would jab a little bit more consistently. Like, Long Zhao would light jab into an overhand right, and Yu So Young would... He'd do a nice jab, and then he'd sort of, like, wait to see what Long Zhao was going to do, and then react based on that. And a lot of the jabs are just snapping Long Zhao's head back, and I was getting a little worried he might get chinned, but I forgot this is bantamweight Chinese fighters. These motherfuckers... They don't know the definition of getting chinned. Like, they don't know what getting chinned is. And they just go in there like warriors. It's fucking sick to watch, man. Like, Jesus Christ. Over here in Canada, okay, we need to fucking... We need to get on this Chinese program, alright, in terms of combat. Anyways, we need to get some fucking heart back in our fighters. Anyways. Yeah, but round one, it was just Yu So Young having better reactions on the exchanges. I want to say the striking numbers were very close in round one. I want to say Yu So Young maybe edged it just a little itsy-bitsy much. But he was just getting the better reactions out of Long Zhao. Like, Long Zhao would land on Yu So Young in round one, and it's like, the guy didn't even fucking feel it. Where Long Zhao would get tagged, and it's snapping his head back. You're seeing a little bit of movement in the nose. He might have been, like, off balance in moments, and he's, like, stumbling a little bit. So it was kind of just bad optic-wise, and Yu So Young just had the composure. Round two... It was kind of like, you could like, if the Weasel was still doing Who Really Won's type of fights. Anyone remember when the Weasel did that? Does the Weasel still upload? I haven't watched that guy in fucking forever. But regardless, I think there's a decent argument Long Zhao won the second. By the way, I picked Long Zhao on bias, but I thought Yu So Young won the second. I thought it was like, maybe not super clear, but I wouldn't be surprised if a judge gave it to Long Zhao. But I'd be kind of shocked if it was a unanimous Long Zhao round two. It was just more of the same. Long Zhao kind of getting peppered by a jab, kind of getting like low kicks here and there without really reacting well. Like, that was really what it was. Like, he never reacted well to any of the strikes, you know? So a lot of these significant strikes probably weren't as significant, you know? Wow, you see a lot of attempted here. And that's another thing. Long Zhao kept on missing. Like, with his lead jab, overhand right... He might land his tappy jab that doesn't really do a lot of damage and doesn't really, like, do much because he's getting out-jabbed. And then he'd whiff his overhand right or his right down the pipe. Like, he almost always whiffed it. But they were getting scrappy in moments. But Yu So Young just had the better, like, exchanges. You know, like, he was more composed. But then in round three, Long Zhao entered second phase, okay? As I like to call it. This guy fucking, I am Blade of China. Long Zhao, I've never known fucking defeat in the UFC. And he might have the records for most successive elbow strikes or some shit like that. Like, that'll probably be his next statistic. Because this guy was just fucking popping off on Yu So Young. Not like a 10-8 fashion, very comfortable 10-9. But he was getting pieced up, and he started getting like a really bad bloody nose. And there's marks around his eye, I believe. But Yu So Young very easily started to get like... He was getting slower, he was starting to really gas, and like Long Zhao was starting to really pick up the pace. He was landing body shots, he was landing head shots, he was doing his fucking just hook combo, like left hook, left hook combo, whenever Yu So Young got to the fence, and Yu So Young was kind of on his bike, like trying to get away. And then Long Zhao would go in with exchanges, and near the end, I swear to God, he landed like 40 elbows back to back to back. Just fucking... What they were clenched up, I think he went for an uppercut, and he's like, bro, fuck this, and he just started throwing elbows for the final like minute, solid minute, just elbow, each shot, elbow, fucking absolutely warrior performance. He had his hand raised at the end of it. It just sucks because it was like, you did kind of lose the two first rounds. You know, you kind of did lose the first two. Like, where was this? If you had that much in the tank, like, bro, you got to use it a little bit earlier, you know? But, yeah, Yu So Young got it done. He's not going to be anything. Like, Yu So Young is, like, he's good enough to beat guys who require a war. You know, like, AJ Cunningham requires you to be dumb enough to get scrappy with him. Yu So Young's not going to do that. You know, Long Zhao requires you to get scrappy with him and go, like, chin for chin, shot for shot. Even though Long Zhao does get cracked, like, he kind of just survived. Like, he'd get cracked, get dropped down to 0 HP, and it's almost like within 1 second, he's back to full HP. It's like a Chinese buff, bro. I swear to God. It's like a Chinese slash like Asian-esque buff. Where just all of them, they have 0 chin HP, but they have like all of their points invested into chin regen. You know what I mean? So it's just it was a really fun fight to watch, and it just sucks to see the result, because like the result was the guy getting his ass whooped in round 3. But that's just how fighting goes. Yu So Young gets it done. It's a pretty comfortable win in my opinion, but Wang Zhao can be something. He just needs to clean it up, stop not necessarily reacting, but even in round 3 and 2, like 2 especially, he was getting cracked. And when he'd get cracked, he'd be like, bleh, like jelly leg fucking wobbling all over the place. Like, brother, relax. You know, you're no Johnny Walker. You know what I mean? You're no fucking, who else gets jelly legged? You know, you're no like Michael Johnson. You know what I mean? Like, act like you at least have a chin, you know? But, yeah, Yu So Young, you got it done. Pretty comfortable. Moving on. Yiza versus Weston Wilson. I went with Yiza. I didn't think Yiza would ever look like the minus. I think he closed at a minus 1100, minus 1400. Something fucking crazy. All right. No fighter will ever be worth that price tag, because that literally means you have to spend $1,000 to make 100. If he's minus 1,000, or I think it's minus 900, and you get 100 or something like that. Yeah, never ever gonna be worth that. But Weston Wilson forgot what strike defense was. He didn't even land a punch. Like, oh, this is embarrassing. Yiza literally started pressuring him. Weston Wilson got put to the cage. He got walked, and he's like, whoa, what do I do? What do I do? And he gets pushed to the cage, and he literally sticks his hand out like he's Wonder Boy. Bro thinks he's Wonder Boy. Hand out, 37-year-old. Or I think he's 36 or something. And he literally just gets caught with the same strike. Gets put down, starts covering up, doesn't throw back. And then Yiza just fucking tees off. I think they separate again, and then Yiza like hunts him down and fucking smokes him. Overall, I'd say like this doesn't really like. There's no we don't learn anything from this performance. You know, Yiza put away a 36-year-old guy who doesn't belong in the UFC. The only reason why he still has a job is because he submitted Jeka Sarigi. Jeka Sarigi doesn't even like that guy just got smoked by a fucking jab. Okay. It's not that impressive, you know what I mean? Like, Yiza's cool. Well, we need to see more performances from him, in my opinion, in order to make a good adjustment to what he's gonna be like at featherweight. Also, Weston Wilson's did not feel like he had that height advantage. 6'1", bro. I feel like if I stood next to Weston Wilson, I'm 5'8". If I stood next to Weston Wilson, I think I'd mog him. I'm not even lying. Weston Wilson did not look that big. But yeah, he got smoked. He got crushed like a can. He's a can. He does like just cut him. He's terrible. Moving on, we have Michelle. Wow, I forgot about this fight. We have Michelle Pereira versus Kyle Dawkins. If you took the MMA community, if you took gamblers, if you took anyone betting on this fight, and you put a gun to their head and they're like, "Who are you picking this fight? You have to put your house on it, or we'll shoot or whatever." 99.9% of human beings are picking Michelle Pereira. You're justified in picking Michelle Pereira. And if you're looking at this, maybe you didn't watch the fight, maybe you're newer to the UFC, you're like, so what's this KO mean? If everyone's picking Michelle Pereira, what happens? Let me just say, I told you so, okay? I got the pick wrong. Obviously, I picked Michelle Pereira. I'm not, like, brain dead retarded. You'd be an actual moron to pick Kyle Dawkins. He's been fighting cans, and he got crushed like a can when he was in the UFC. Got cut, came back after a 4-fight win streak against jobbers. Kyle Dawkins is also a little older as well. Michelle Pereira, 2 fights ago, okay, was in prime, smoking people like McCall and Jaychuk, Eor Pateria, and like there's another name in there. Like smoking them all in round 1, wicked fucking finishes. And then he just gets smothered by Anthony Hernandez. That's not a bad win considering Anthony Hernandez might fight for the belt next if he beats RDR, which that fight was announced. Might do a breakdown on that later. Just saying. But yeah, like, his losses aren't even that bad. Like, his loss to a boost is very close. 29-28. You probably give it to any fighter that night. And yeah, Fluffy Hernandez. Not bad wins, okay? This was... Cut Michelle Pereira. This guy... I don't know what's going on with him. I blame Jacob from We Want Picks, not actually, but if you know, you know. But if you don't know, Jacob from We Want Picks was at a UFC event with Michel Pereira. I think this was during a Michel Pereira masterclass where he finished a guy in round 1. He looked at Michel Pereira's corner, or this might have been the Anthony Hernandez one. He looked at Michel Pereira's corner, noticed there was a woman there, took a picture, and was like, "Damn, his woman's fine." Turned out not to be his woman, because his woman didn't know about that woman being there. And the corner's only reserved for close people, so there was something sus going on there. And then the woman, like Michel Pereira's girlfriend, had a fucking crash out, saying that this woman's a homewrecker. She probably got the kids, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of risky things going on in Michel Pereira's mindset, you know? A lot of weird stuff going on with Michel Pereira. He's also what I say, like, a Brazilian classic, alright? He's got that Brazilian debuff, unfortunately, where they're 50-50. They're Jose Aldo, where they show up and they're either looking their age or they look like they're in prime. They'd whoop any fucking prospect in the division, you know? They either show up looking like they're going against Jonathan Martinez, whooping his ass for 3 rounds, or they show up looking like what they did against Amin Zahabi in round 3, where he just forgot, oh yeah, I'm 60 years old, and he got fucking, you know, basically smoked in round 3. Jose Aldo, I'm talking about. But Michel Pereira's also got that debuff. I mean, his record shows it. Kyle Dawkins, man. This guy looks like a Sean Woodson variant. Did anyone else get that? Like, this guy looks like an RDR descendant, you know? Like, distant cousin, Kyle Dawkins, RDR. Kind of looks like it, you know? But, you know, maybe he hatched from an egg. Maybe this is a different Dawkins, alright? Maybe Sean Woodson found the original Kyle Dawkins after he got cut, you know, and he used his DNA and spliced it with one of his eggs. And now we have this Kyle Dawkins, the one on a 5-fight win streak now, about to make a run in the UFC. Yeah, he smoked Michel Pereira. He caught him with a left hook, or it was a right. I think it was a right hand. I think it was just a clean right hand. And to be honest with you, it put out Michel Pereira for probably a split second. Michel got dropped pretty bad. Dawkins starts landing ground and pound, and Michel Pereira is going in, and then he's out, and then he's in, and then he's out, and then he's in, and then he's out. And at some point, the ref is just like, all right, we're calling this. Michel Pereira jumps up, and he instantly tries to hunt down Kyle Dawkins, and the ref's like, yo, bro, you're done, bro, okay? Sit down, Clanka, all right? You don't know what you're doing, okay? And that was very desperate looking from Michel Pereira. It screams of, like, I needed this win. I need this fight to continue. Please, ref, let this fight continue. Continue the fight. Yeah, Michel Pereira's just cooked. Get him out. He's a bum. There was a time, not so long ago, even, like, maybe it might have been a year ago, where Michel Pereira could have made a name for himself in the middleweight division. Middleweights are shit. Now it's just he's cooked. Moving on. The wrong Jew versus Austin Hubbard. Turned out to be the right Jew. Yeah, Austin Hubbard is just a dude stuck in the mud. I went with Jew wrong here. I feel like most people did. Some people, I think, went with Austin Hubbard because he is, like, kind of good. But this was about as unk performance as you can in terms of Austin Hubbard will not change. He is who he is. He might shoot a takedown once in the fight. He'll kickbox at range. Holy shit, I might need to get some water. God damn. He'll kickbox at range. And if he's losing because he's getting caught with an overhand right, which he got caught and I mean this genuinely, Wrong Zhu. Sorry, my brain's cooked. Wrong Zhu literally landed that overhand right every single time he threw it. What was the... Yeah, that seems pretty right. I'd say round 1 was Zhu Wrong's. I thought it was pretty clear Zhu Wrong. He had Austin Hubbard on the back foot. Austin Hubbard was getting tagged a lot. Didn't really show damage. Like, he didn't really show like he was being affected by anything. But yeah, Wrong Zhu just was landing the better shots, even though Austin Hubbard was still landing, but he's landing a lot of tappy stuff, you know? Alright, sorry about that. Just had to get my fucking water. Make sure I'm hydrated. Anyways, stay hydrated, boys. It's very important. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Round 1, I just thought Wrong Zhu had the pressure. He had the better strikes. Austin Hubbard was landing nice tappy low kicks, I believe, but I don't think anything was really that damaging. Round 2, I think there was a grappling exchange as well, and I want to say Rongju ended up in the better exchange, like he stuffed the takedown or something like that. yeah, he stuffed the takedown, that's what it was. Or no, he got taken down if I remember correctly, but he instantly got back up. And there was moments where I'm just like, bro, like wrench the arm, never wrenched it, but he was able to get back up. And outland Austin Hubbard on the feet. Round 2, similar situation. He was kind of outlanding him, but then he got taken down for a little bit longer, and Austin Hubbard, I think, was landing like knees while they was against the cage. And Austin Hubbard was starting to pick up the pace a little bit and start landing a little bit better. So you could argue Austin Hubbard round. I think 2 of the judges gave it to Austin Hubbard in round 2. But I thought it was kind of like a Rongju round again. You know, and then round 3 happened where like Rongju was kind of styling on Austin Hubbard a little bit. He'd land that overhand. He threw probably 30 overhand rights in round 3. He landed every single one. And then like Austin Hubbard got cooked here because he didn't know. He'd switch his stance, but he had the same exchange. He'd wait for something. He'd wait for like a jab, block it, get caught with the overhand right. And then he'd be like wobbled or like stunned. It looked like he stunned. And then he'd try to go for another exchange instantly. And then he'd get like sneaky uppercutted. And that was like the cycle he was caught in. You know, he'd try to go in, he'd get uppercutted. And if he waited too long, he'd get overhand right. And he didn't adapt to any of it. He got caught with all of it. Sometimes it was tappy and not like a clean strike. But it's like, brother, like you're getting hit with an uppercut 30 fucking times in a round. You gotta figure out that, you know? But makes sense why Alexander Hernandez beat this guy. Yeah, Austin Hubbard just doesn't change. I think it's just time to cut him. Moving on. I think that's 3 losses in a row. Cut him. We don't need him. I'm tired of seeing these old dumb fucks that don't change. We need to see some improvement in the sport and actually showcase that the sport can have levels to the game. Speaking of levels to the game, we move on to Charles Johnson versus Loner Kavanaugh. I said round 1. Charles Johnson KO. It ended up happening in round 2. And I will say this, okay? The only reason why it happened in round 2 is because in round 1, first striking exchange, Loner Kavanaugh lands a nice, clean left hook, knuckle right in the eye socket of Charles Johnson. And you can tell it bothered him because he was touching that eye more than fucking Dyer, whatever the fuck his name is, back on the first fight here. He was touching that eye a lot. He was very bugged by it. He got caught by a head kick while he was like fucking with his eye. He got caught by like a bunch of overhand rights. Loner Kavanaugh very fast in round 1. Very fast in round 1. Foreshadowing. But yeah, Charles Johnson was getting his ass whooped in round 1. Very clear Loner Kavanaugh round. Loner Kavanaugh looked pretty good. I think he shot for a takedown, I want to say. Yeah, he shot for a takedown. I think he got it. Charles Johnson very instantly, I think, got back up. If I'm remembering correctly, it was round 1. And overall, Charles Johnson was getting pieced up. Fucking hell. Ooh. Anyways, yeah, Charles Johnson doing pretty good, or doing pretty shit, getting fucked up. I'm sorry, like, I'm a little worried here. But round 2 started. And Harry Potter over here and Loner Kavanaugh used up all of his fucking magic. And it looked like Charles Johnson fucking took the wand right from his hands. Because Loner Kavanaugh had fucking no idea what was going on. Harry Potter, Hogwarts looking alright? He had no idea what was going on. Started looking away when he was getting in striking exchanges. He'd land like low kicks and he'd still land his right hand. And they were doing okay, but Charles Johnson was eating it. And he'd just fucking throw back with heat. But at some point, it was just like Kavanaugh on the back foot was constantly trying to like disengage from exchanges. Charles Johnson was just hunting him down. You know, he's like, oh, you think you're getting away from me? And in the build-up, Charles Johnson was like, yo, I feel disrespected. It feels like they're trying to set me up here. Bro, he proved Unk still got it. You know? And that's why I picked Charles Johnson, man. He's sneaky good. You have to be like blatantly better than him and able to go, like, you have to be ranked flyweight bare minimum in order to beat Charles Johnson. I haven't seen enough from Loner Kavanaugh to say that. Another reason why I picked Charles Johnson, I didn't say it in my breakdown. Charles Johnson is experienced. This guy's been all around the world. This guy's fought the who's who. He's fought Joshua Vance. He's fought other people in the division. But he's fought a lot of people. And yeah, he's won. Yeah, he's lost. But he's been around like different time zones. He's gone traveling, everything like that. He's a veteran. Loner Kavanaugh is a fucking baby, bro. This guy's got 9 fights. This guy's probably never been to China. I think he might be part Chinese or something. I saw like his flag was Chinese on the Tapology or some shit. So he might be part Chinese or something. I could be completely wrong, but it just felt like Loner Kavanaugh. I didn't feel like he'd be able to adjust to a new time zone. I think his last fight was in England. I presume most of his fights are in England because I'm pretty sure he's English. You know, with his Hogwarts looking at. But yeah, it's just I don't know why Loner Kavanaugh took this. Like, Charles Johnson is like the ultimate. You gotta check your P's and Q's and be with it for 15 minutes. Loner Kavanaugh's not that. We even saw that in his debut. You know, his debut where he was kind of gassing out in round 3, losing to Jose Ochoa, but like stealing like a round, you know, and he was able to get the nod on the judges' scorecards. But Jose Ochoa's gone on to fight like actual ranked level comp. And Loner Kavanaugh's picking like the hardest unranked match for him. Like, I don't know why you're doing this. Tiny guy against a tall dude like Charles Johnson. You know, you're Joshua Van sized. Bro, this guy fraud checked our GOAT Joshua Van, alright? Our battle gnome Joshua Van. That guy's going to be champ one day. Once Pantoja retires. Or moves up to bantamweight. Either or. But Loner Kavanaugh is literally like the perfect. Like, Charles already beat that blueprint, brother. You know what I mean? He beat a more experienced, younger, maybe not in prime, but a younger, faster, better striker, you know? Like, what is Loner Kavanaugh going to bring to the table that Charles Johnson hasn't fought? You know what I mean? Where, like, Loner Kavanaugh hasn't fought a dude like Charles Johnson. So, yeah, anyways, I picked Charles Johnson. Charles Johnson got it done. Good underdog value, to be honest. I bet the 3.5 for Charles Johnson, so I doubled my 5, I think, or maybe it was, like, minus 150, so I got 7 out of 5. Wasn't really worth it, but I bet it anyways. But yeah, moving on. Heiser Mahashete versus Gage Young. Yo, can we do something about this commentary? They were calling him Mashate? A Machado or something like that? So someone remembers that. Someone who watched this fight remembers that. They were mispronouncing this guy's last name. Felt bad for Machado or whatever the fuck they were calling him. It's Machete. Like, I don't know why everyone. It wasn't John Anik because he wasn't saying haha. I want to say it was like Paul Felder that was saying it wrong. Could have been something like that. But yeah, it was like, brother, like, do your research, study, bro. All right, like, what the fuck are you? You're getting paid to say these guys' names. That's literally it. All right, you're getting paid to say these guys' names and watch fights. Like, fucking, yo, UFC, hire me, bruh. Next time you go to Canada, I'll be the commentator. Okay, I may butcher names. I'm not gonna butcher it that fucking bad. I'll at least study if you're paying me. Anyways, fighting Gage Young. This fight was pretty close, to be honest with you. Round 1 was very, very close. Round 1, Gage Young got caught pretty badly. And he got, like, he didn't get wobbled too bad, but he had a fucking cut pretty bad on his eye. So, even though he was up on numbers and he was doing really well, I personally think Machete won round 1. Just based off damage. I don't know why my throat's so dry. Swear to God, I've drinking like 4 liters of water. Anyways. Yeah, Gage Young did pretty well afterwards. Round 2 and 3, I thought he started to pick it up really well. He mixed in takedowns here and there. He was landing low kicks here and there. He's very sloppy, very open on the feet. Like, he didn't have a lot of striking defense. And Machete was cracking him. He was a taller guy as well. And in moments, it looks like Young was like struggling with the height. But eventually, Young started to pick it up once he stopped going for fucking head kicks on a guy who's like 4 inches taller than him. Like, just what the fuck are you doing? But yeah, Gage Young looked pretty good in this fight. Definitely didn't look like no world beater. Like, for lightweight, this was not an impressive performance for lightweight. Like, any name I can think of in lightweight beats this guy. Like, just straight up. Like, they just straight up beat Gage Young. You know, I don't know how the fuck Machete slept Steve Garcia. I guess it was up a weight class. But, yeah, Gage Young does not look like this world beater or anything. Bro, there's like fucking unranked featherweights I'd probably pick over Gage Young. He just looked slow. He looked very open on the feed. He looked very beatable. Like, if I was making my debut in the UFC and I heard my opponent was Gage Young, I'm licking my lips being like, okay, easy. Right hook every time, all right? We get into exchanges. But yeah, Gage Young got it done. Comfortable 29-28, based off 2 and 3. Not really much happened. Like, there was big shots landed, but overall it's like a back and forth. Gage Young, like, would just land more. Like, he'd land a low kick, jab, right hook. Machete would land like a... This was Temu, or like insert whatever shitty Amazon variant you have in your country. This was the shitty version of, I had it in my brain and it just left. Gage Young, Machete. It just instantly left my brain. What the fuck am I thinking of? Oh my god, it just left my brain. My brain's cooked. I need to fucking lay down after this card. Holy shit. Anyways, yeah, it was a very bad... That's what it was. It was Temu version, Corey Sandhagen, Umar for 3 rounds. You know, Gage Young would slightly land more, like Umar, mixed in the wrestling once or twice. Didn't really... How many times did he shoot a takedown? Okay, he shot it a little bit more than I thought. You know, secured it sometimes... Didn't really secure it others. Machete got back to his feet pretty fast. But yeah. Gage Young comfortably won. Wasn't that, like, crazy or anything. This guy's no world beater. Machete sucks. Cut him. Moving on. This guy versus Kiefer Crosby. This is a debut against Kiefer Crosby. Kiefer Crosby fucking sucks. Terrible. He was getting smoked, and this... Raji, I don't know how to pronounce his name, straight up. This Raji kid was piecing him up, fucked him up, dropped him. Kiefer Crosby then was like barely surviving, getting to his knees. This Raji guy literally fucking illegally kneed him, most blatant illegal knee like of all time. Probably even worse than the Aljo Peter. Maybe not, because Peter Yan literally looked at his corner. Knee? Okay. And went for the knee. But it was pretty much that bad. He literally illegally kneed him while he was grounded. And it cut his face. Shout out to Kiefer Crosby, though. He ain't no bitch. And he got up and was like, nah, it didn't really hurt. Even though half of his face is covered in blood. And he sat down and he's like, what the fuck, man? You know, pissed off because he got illegally kneed. Took 2 points. Valid. I agree with that. They need to do that more. Took 2 points off that illegal knee. That should happen more often. But yeah, this Raji guy, I think was a pick'em or something. Might have been heavy favorite. I wasn't really paying. This was like a last minute. I don't even know if I picked this fight. I think I did. Yeah, Kiefer Crosby fucking blows. Just cut him. Or at least give him a pity another fight just because he was a warrior and didn't take a DQ, I guess. But this Naraji kid, if you're gambling, if you're betting on fights, never gamble. This guy strikes me as like that dumb fuck. Ismail Nurdiev? Something like that. Whatever that fucking guy's name who just fought the Iron Turtle. He strikes me as that guy where, yeah, he's got talent. Yeah, he's got skill. But fuck, man, he's just dumb and likely to do some illegal shit. Kiefer Crosby sucks. This other... guy, little untested, unproven, got to see more, but he looks dumb. Don't bet him, ever. You know, give him a couple fights. Moving on, Sumaderji versus Kevin Borjas. I went with Sumaderji. I'm pretty good at my Kevin Borjas fights. I picked him to beat Ronaldo Rodriguez, even though I think he was an underdog. A lot of people were pretty high on Kevin Borjas. Very high on Kevin Borjas. I saw a lot of prediction channels pick Kevin in this matchup. I went with Sumaderji, man. I just think Sumaderji's good everywhere. Kevin Borjas is really only good in striking exchanges, and he's only good when he can initiate them. You know, Ronaldo Rodriguez is a fucking moron. That guy will stand with his chin up and get smoked like he did by Ode Osborne and Kevin Borjas. But Sumidare is a little bit of a different breed, you know? He's got a wide stance. You kind of got to low kick him, but he knows how to counter it. Or he will counter it, I should say. Holy shit, man. I'm sorry. My throat is just dying right now. Maybe I'm getting sick. Fuck. Anyways. But yeah, Sumidare just overall was better everywhere. Held Kevin Borjas against the cage when he needed to. He got caught a few times. But this was just a masterclass. Every round, Sumidare was up on numbers. Every round, he was pushing more of the pace. Every round, he was landing the better shots. And every round, Kevin Borjas just had no answers. And he looked like that nerd from those old... maybe old, because I'm getting old now, because I'm 22. Fuck, man. But those, like, old, like, cartoon... Not cartoon. Those old fucking shows... where there was, like, that nerdy kid with that long nose. I don't remember the guy's name. I don't remember the actor's name or anything, but he kind of sounds like this, you know? Don't touch my Pokemon cards, you know? Yeah, that's kind of what Kevin Borjas looks like, you know? Or he kind of looks like Hawk from Cobra Kai. Anyone else? But yeah, you know, the guy with the fucking flaming mohawk. I think that was his name, right? Hawk, something like that. Regardless. Yeah, Kevin Borjas sucks. Like, he still does just suck. He's good striking, but he's got to fight someone who will only strike with him. Sumidare, you will mix it up, you know? He's fought good level comp, you know? He's showing improvements in every fight, and this fight looked like he improved. You know, this was a masterclass. He was doing spinning wheel kicks. He was doing fucking head kicks whenever he wanted. This was like Sumidare by any way you wanted type performance, you know? Moving on! Hey. My king has returned. Sergey Pavlovich. Back to solo Africa. Not racist. He posted it on his Instagram at one point, or Twitter. If you know, you know. Okay? Back to the good old Sergey, you know? Insert Elder Scrolls fucking night. Fucking living life in the night montage, alright? Fucking sits on his throne, puts down the sword. Wait 4 days so we out living life in the night type shit, alright? That's what we like to see from my boy Sergey Pavlovich. Absolute slaughter masterclass. Love to see it from my boy Sergey Pavlovich. I 200 IQ'd it. I found how to trick the system. I picked Waldo Cortez Acosta because I wanted Pavlovich to win, and I have a 0% win rate with Waldo Cortez Acosta, like I do with Kevin Holland. They're just 50. They're just like, I don't understand these fighters. I don't understand Waldo. I don't understand fucking Kevin Holland. They make no sense to me. They take short notice fights. They somehow beat guys they shouldn't beat. They fucking get gifted decisions they shouldn't get. Like, it's just, I'll never understand how they win. I don't understand how they lose. This fight, I fully did understand how they lost because they went in there with the Russian polar bear. The real Russian polar bear, not the fake Sergey, alright? This is Pavlovich, okay? In all seriousness, though, it was a okay fight. It had its big moments, but it wasn't like the Pavlovich people wanted, because a lot of people thought this was going to be vintage Pavlovich. Waldo's a tough fight, man. As sad as I want to say with this fucking salsa boy, Drewski looking motherfucker, alright? Waldo is a tough fight, okay? He's a tough dude. He's got a really big chin. He's got a really good reach. I don't care what it said on Tapology and shit. His reach is really, like, it's comparable to Pavlovich, like, very close. And he's a big dude. Like, he's a tall, big dude. And he can wrestle. And he can strike fairly okay. Like, this dude, and he's good at getting in people's heads. Like, this dude is, like, solid at heavyweight. All you need to do is not be morbidly obese. And Waldo Cortez Acosta, over the course of his career, has less obesity and percentage obesity in every fight. But Pavlovich, man, like, he came in there and he's like, you know what? I'm going to wait till this guy makes a mistake. I will say, round one, this dirty fucking Cortez Acosta cunt, alright? Fuck this bitch, alright? I wanted Waldo to get fucking smoked after round one. Round one, first striking exchange, this guy gets put to the fence and instantly goes for a headbutt. And the striking exchanges between the two went like this. Cortez Acosta when he'd initiate a striking exchange, he would dip his head down, not look, and fucking spurg out like a moron, okay? But he'd always initiate by dipping down first, right? Pavlovich would dip down, but he'd throw, and once he'd land, then he'd dip down and throw the other punch. So every time they'd go at the same time, and this happened like 3 times, I want to say, in round 1, they head clashed, but it was Waldo jamming his fucking cranium right in Sergey's jaw. Genuinely, probably wobbled him harder than he's ever been wobbled by the fucking headbutt. Even Aspinall, I don't think wobbled him like that much with those headbutts. Those were very clear headbutts. Mark Goddard, I think, was the ref for this fight. I'm pretty sure for him. It might have been Herb Dean, to be fair. What the fuck are you looking at? He clearly head clashed him like 3 times, and you're not even going to give a warning for that? And then Pavlovich shoots a takedown in round 1 after winning striking exchanges. Ignore that voice crack. And Waldo clearly grabs the fence, and he stops a takedown by grabbing a fence almost as blatant as Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman 3. But, like, bro, like, ref, open your eyes. Fuck. Like, Jesus, man. You do it when KHAMZAT Chimaev's fighting. You won't do it when another Russian's fighting? Come on now, brother. That's racist, alright? Just because my brother's a heavyweight don't mean you don't take his fight seriously. Anyways. Yeah, Pavlovich whooped Waldo round 1. Pretty close, though. Pretty close. I give it to Pavlovich. Just every exchange went as I said. Waldo would dip down, and he'd look like a fucking... look like a toddler. Didn't know how to strike. Even though he normally knows how to strike. Like, he's pretty good with jabs and then running away, but he's terrible with exchanges. And Pavlovich showed that. But he'd get, like, headbutted, and then he'd land, like, the right hook, left hook combo. And he'd land pretty consistently. But yeah, Waldo, he was getting pieced up on the back foot the whole time. But he did land, like, a few good strikes on Pavlovich. It was pretty close. I give round 1 to Pavlovich. Round 2... a little bit more clear Pavlovich. Pavlovich starts really fighting an overhand right. And he does sort of mix in things. He starts shooting a low kick. And he's doing well for a little bit. But I will say, Waldo did start, like, peppering Pavlovich a little bit more. But Pavlovich was getting comfortable with, like, getting hit. You know? Waldo wasn't, like, dipping down as much. But Pavlovich was... he was like, alright, if I'm going to get hit, I'm going to get hit. And he would trust his chin. Get hit. And bop, bop, you know? Right hook, left hook, jab, overhand right, you know? Like, he was getting into it, you know? And it's almost like Pavlovich, after Aspinall's loss, needs that wake up sort of strike and be like, okay, now we're in. Now we have initiated the boss fight, you know? But yeah, Waldo just didn't really have anything other than a jab and run away with a tappy low kick, and none of it was really affecting Pavlovich. He'd get hit, and he's like, and Waldo would literally, he'd start, like, flexing, sticking his tongue out, laughing, and, like, doing that, like pushing sweat off his forehead when Pavlovich would miss, and he's composed, doesn't really care. They touch gloves sometimes, a little soy, but it is what it is. But Pavlovich was finding his timing, you know? So I thought round 2 was pretty clear Pavlovich. And then round 3, yeah, Pavlovich gets his fucking mojo going on. He rocks Waldo really bad in a few moments with overhand rights. Pushes him against the cage. Lands some good uppercuts. Lands some good right hands. Waldo landed a good elbow, I think, at one point. That might have been in round 2, but I thought it was round 3 from recollection. But Pavlovich was just, like, clean boxing. Like, if you give Pavlovich a striker, like a pure striker, like a Jairzinho, but, like, specifically a boxer, Pavlovich is good. Like, he is kind of good everywhere. You know? He's kind of evolved as an MMA fighter since that Aspinall loss. He's reduced his power. Like, he took the skill points he had and invested into his power, and he took some of those and invested it into his well-rounded skills. And now he's a lot more well-rounded, and he's kept some of the power. You know, like a little bit of passive power with Pavlovich. But yeah, Waldo is just get him the fuck out of here. I'm so happy to see this guy lose. Fuck this prick. Cheating bitch in round 1, head clashing. grabbing Cage, get him the fuck out of the sport after that performance. But, you know, they're going to keep him around. Waldo probably beats a lot of the fat fucks. I think Sergey called out Shamil. I think if I understood his post-fight speech properly, I think he called out Shamil. Maybe he was saying he was teammates with Shamil or something like that, but I think he called out Shamil. I think that's a fine fight. Pavlovich security is placed at number 3. I do think he needs to get 1 or 2 more wins to earn that title shot. He has had some boring performances, but they're good. Like, he's showcasing he is better than these jobbers, you know, as a bedtime MMA would call him. So, Pavlovich gets it done. My Russian White King gets it done again, and we get Sergey Pavlovich era, okay? Hey, does he beat Aspinall in the rematch? Maybe. Anyways, moving on. Brian Ortega, Aljamain Sterling. Guys, what a heater this was, okay? What a heater this was. 5 rounds domination. All 5 rounds domination. Man, with the grappling and strikes from Aljo. Isn't it so dominant? Wow. What an entertaining 5-round fight this was, guys. Who agrees with me? KHAMZAT Blazers? Where are you? Where is there any of you guys left? Where are you? Huh? It was a 5-round domination. This is entertaining for you guys, right? It was a dominant 5-round performance. Every round was Aljo's. Where's the KHAMZAT Glazers at? This was entertaining, right, guys? No, this was more entertaining than KHAMZAT's fight. That's a fact. But it was not a good fight. It was very boring. But that's Aljo. Aljo does have bad, boring fights. Like, I mean, it's just an Aljo fight. I picked Aljo by decision. He got it done by decision. I did not think this fight was 5 rounds. I only found that out, like, the night of. Or I guess the day of, because it was fucking 6 a.m. But regardless, yeah, Aljamain, I was gonna say he looked good. He looked terrible, man. Like, am I the only one that thought that? Striking looks stiff. He has no head movement. Anyone with high-level striking beats Aljo. Bro, like you give this kid fucking Arnold Allen. You give this guy a fucking Diego Lopez. Like, bro, if you give Diego Lopez Aljamain Sterling, Aljamain dies in round 1. I've said it, okay? You give Aljamain Sterling Gene Silva, dies in round 1. Aljamain Sterling does. This guy doesn't move his fucking head. But yeah, round 1, literally every round was the same. Why am I gonna break it? I'm not breaking down round by round. Every round was the same. Aljamain would land a few strikes, and Brian Ortega would land 1 or 2 punches and miss 1 or 2 punches in those exchanges. And it's like, okay, you're tempting, and there's moments where Brian Ortega's like snappy. All right, another thing, this was catch weight. Brian Ortega missed weight by 8 pounds. Somehow, even though he has 0 muscle definition, swear to God, I could probably, I'd say, I'm trying to phrase this properly. I'm not more lean than Brian Ortega, because I got a little bit of fat on me, but how the fuck does this guy have no muscle definition? Literally like a flabby fucking doughboy looking motherfucker Brian Ortega is, you know? But yeah, Brian just sucks. Like, he's shit, you know? He doesn't know when. It looks like he's lost his, like, he doesn't know when to strike properly, you know? Even though he's the younger fighter here, which is probably surprising a few people. Brian Ortega's just shit. Like, he's washed. Like, he doesn't know when to strike properly. His striking is all right. Like, it's still snappy, but it's not enough to do damage. Like, it looks like it's snappy, you know? Like, he's got the speed. Doesn't have, like, the damage or reaction or respect on the feet. He doesn't have any of that. He doesn't move his head either. So, Aljamain can awkwardly blitz in and jab him up. And this fight, like, bro, it's no wonder why Sean O'Malley smoked Aljamain Sterling. Like, Aljo doesn't move his fucking head when he goes in, blitzing in like a moron. But yeah, every round was just Aljo landed a little bit more, step out. Aljo lands a little bit more, step out. Brian Ortega gets angry, moves up, lands a jab, misses a right hand. Aljo gets away, and now Brian Ortega's fucking confuzzled. He was hit with confusion, doesn't know what to do for 3 turns. You know? Like, Blood's fucking confused. He doesn't know what's going on. He's still confused who he's fighting, you know? But yeah, Aljo got it done. Comfortable 50-45. Boring fight. But hey, KHAMZAT fans, hey, this is entertaining to you guys, right? I mean, it's domination, right? 5 rounds clear. Right? Yeah, that's what I thought. Anyways, yeah, this fight was boring. Everyone agrees this fight was boring. KHAMZAT Glazers literally just want to think it's about race and think it's about fucking, oh, you don't like him because he's Russian. You don't like him because he's ugly. No, we don't like him because he's fucking... That fight was boring as shit. Like Brian Ortega Aljamain. This fight was boring as shit. It was a striking match. 90% of this fight was striking. You know? Like, maybe around 4 and 5, there was like a takedown or two from Aljamain, but not really much grappling. And it was just domination from Aljo. Brian Ortega landed 1 good strike, I think, the whole fight. Aljamain landed like 5 good strikes the whole fight. You know? That's about it. Moving on, Johnny Walker versus Yang Ming Yang. I went with Yang Ming Yang. Angelo from We Want Picks said Yang Ming Yang should have been a minus 1400. Man, I'm glad I didn't follow that fucking train. I did not bet Zhang Min Yang. I didn't put him in any parlay, nothing like that. I didn't bet this fight. I would have bet Johnny Walker by KO if I had money on my account. However, I think I lost it on betting a plus 3.5 on someone. I don't remember who. I got like... I hit that $7 thing, and then I bet it on someone else for a plus 3.5. I don't remember who. I don't give a fuck. It's $5. I don't care. But Johnny Walker, fights like he's playing a roguelike, and he's 1 HP. Maybe he's playing Binding of Isaac. Like he fights like he's playing Binding of Isaac, and he accidentally took too many deals with the devil, and now he's got to do a whole floor while he's got 1 heart. You know what I mean? Like, he looks terrified in there. Ming Yang Zhang, he's looking confident in round 1. He lands on Johnny Walker here and there. Johnny Walker fakes a glove touch, shoots a takedown, by the way. That was the first exchange. Ends up on bottom like a special ed kid. I don't know. Like, he's just fucking retarded, man. Like, Johnny Walker is just still retarded. Lands like his 1 strikes, like I said he would. And I did kind of think, like, Johnny Walker's got a chance here. And I said it, like, Johnny Walker's got, like, a decent chance here, man. Johnny Walker's always a fighter where he's always got a chance. If he lands, like, a big shot a few times, you're cooked, you know? And Jing Yang Mang, this guy doesn't fucking move, man. Like, he is a punching bag. And he found out, like, bro is a punching bag. But round 1... Yang Ming Yang, great round. Wobble Johnny Walker. Landed an elbow. Wobble Johnny Walker there. Landed a hook. Wobble Johnny Walker again. Landed a few kicks. Ended up on top position. Yeah, it was a clear Yang Ming Yang round 1. Round 2, Johnny Walker also missed like a dumb flying knee. Looked like a fucking retard. Doing spinning shit that he doesn't need to do. Missing everything. But round 2, Johnny Walker landed 3 calf kicks, and Zhang's fucking juiced out calf blew out, and it was just cooked. And he went down, and he role played the victim, and Johnny Walker was just landing fucking ground and pound, landing vicious ground and pound, very vicious ground and pound, just fucking right hand Johnny Walker's, and right hand from Johnny Walker to just fucking put down Zhang Ming Yang. Ref was trying to get Zhang Ming Yang to respond. He didn't, and they stopped the fight because Zhang Ming Yang crumbled to a calf kick. It is what it is. Zhang Ming Yang's a can. He got crushed like a can. In China, main event. That's rough, man. But hey, Johnny Walker's back. I think we got Johnny Walker, John Jones, #1 contender for the winner against Alex Pereira, Uncle Live 2. Anyone else? I think that's a good fight to make. But yeah, seriously, Johnny Walker, I don't think we've learned anything from here. He's still the same fighter. I mean, he does dumb shit, he gets away with it, or he doesn't. And he either gets caught or he doesn't. That's pretty much it. Zhang Ming Yang, I guess we learned he fucking sucks, and everyone was overhyping him. Putting him in parlays is, like, bro, like, people like Zhang, bro, like, I know he retired Smith, but, you know, let's not give him too much credit, okay? That was a wash Smith, you know? And as Bedtime MMA put it, bro, prime Anthony Smith gives Zhang Ming Yang problems, and you could see it in that fight. So, Johnny Walker got it done. This was a pretty good main event, or pretty good event overall. And, yeah, I'm excited for the next one. A little bit of a break. I might take a hiatus. I'm probably only saying that because I'm fucking tired as shit right now. But I'll do my normal uploads. I upload like 2 to 4, maybe 5 times a week, depending on the week. But, yeah. Yeah. If you liked the video and made it all the way to the end, I appreciate it. I thank you for watching, and as always, I hope you have a good day.